Hi, I'm Peter Orker of Peter Orker Piano Tuition. Welcome to this week's A to Z of piano composers and pianists, where we've reached the letter F. So the composer I've chosen for letter F is Dublin-born John Field. Field is roughly contemporary with Beethoven, being born in 1782 and dying in 1837. He's almost exactly 10 years later in both his birth and death dates. But his piano compositions were highly influential on later composers such as Frédéric Chopin and Franz Liszt. Field pretty much invented the form of piano composition which we know as the Nocturne, which, as the name implies, is basically a song without words and which evokes the calm atmosphere of nighttime. And he actually composed over 20 of these nocturnes. Franz Liszt especially was taken with these and even edited a volume of these for John Field. Wrote in the preface about the music being like half-formed sighs floating through the air, softly lamenting and dissolved in delicious melancholy. Well, a great example is Field's 10th Nocturne in E minor. Minor keys are often used for melancholic, sort of darker pieces, so this may well have been the Nocturne that Franz Liszt was thinking of when he wrote about the delicious melancholy. Well, it begins with this gentle tune over a series of slow triplets in the left hand. Well, as the piece goes on, it gets more and more chromatic. In other words, notes are introduced which do not belong in the original key of E minor. Let's unpack that a little bit. Here is the scale of E minor. And here is what we call the chromatic scale, which uses all the white notes and the black notes one after the other, like this. Towards the end of the piece, there's a run of notes which is almost entirely a chromatic scale. Well, I mentioned how Field's nocturnes influenced Chopin, and one way in which that happened was that Chopin's increased use of chromatic notes in his nocturnes, which do share some of the similar atmosphere to John Field's, but he kind of took that idea and sort of ran with it, really. And the chromatic notes found their way much more obviously into Chopin's music. For instance, in this nocturne, which is in the key of E major, not a minor key at all, we start with a melody that is definitely in the key of E major. I'll just play the melody with the bare bones harmony. Now, as that melody develops, it becomes more and more chromatic, and more notes which aren't in the key of E major are put in. So, for example, a little bit later on, we get a passage like this, again with the bare bones harmony. Now see how it develops. Can you hear those extra notes? So the bass line is moving down in a chromatic scale, and the melody line is also containing lots of notes that aren't actually in the scale of E major. Here it comes. And here's a final intriguing thing about how different composers influence each other. You might remember me saying that Field is about 10 years later than Beethoven. Beethoven wrote his Moonlight Sonata in 1801, about 20 years before Field's E minor nocturne that we were listening to earlier. Keep that in mind as we compare a passage from the Moonlight Sonata with a similar passage from Field's Nocturne. So listen to these bars from the Moonlight. And now listen to this passage from Field's Nocturne. Well, there's no firm evidence to link the two other than what we can hear with our ears. There's definitely a similarity there. And I wonder if somewhere at the back of Field's mind a faint echo of Beethoven's Moonlight. Remember, Moonlight was not Beethoven's title. Well, there was a faint echo of the Moonlight Sonata playing in his mind as he composed this nocturne. Well, that's today's A to Z video. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. And look out for the next one, letter G. I wonder if you can guess who it will be. Don't forget to give me a like and a share. And for more information about online piano lessons, you can find out all you need to know by going to peterorker.net. Bye for now.